Well, Matt, whilst we spoke to you last week and managed to do a pre-match with Crawley, unfortunately the game couldn't go ahead. Frozen pitch, as many places were up and down the country. Must have been a disappointing one for you and the boys.
It was all round, to be honest, and we desperately wanted to play. We've been in a good run. We're in a good place as a squad at the moment, and spirits are really high, and we can't wait for the next game. And we thought that was going to be Crawley at the weekend, but that was one real big disappointment from our point of view, but also from the people working hard, the ground staff, and all the volunteers who worked extremely hard to get the game on and put the covers on there for us. And we thought we'd done the job, and it's frustrating because 80-90% of the pitch was completely perfect and really ready to go, but the shaded area in front of the stand just didn't get the sun that he needed, and unfortunately it was too hard and too contrasting surfaces on the pitch. It really makes it difficult, and the referee unfortunately called the game off, which was the right decision. And I was still at the ground at 3 o'clock, and yeah, the pitch wasn't playable in my eyes then. So very, very frustrating, but unfortunately that's the nature of it, and we get called off because of the cold snap that we had last week. But no, we'll and that sort of led in and affected Tuesday night's game as well, which was very similar and same area, and meant we couldn't play the Surrey Senior Cup game. So no, we worked them hard. We've worked them hard all week, and now we're on to our next one away at Harrogate on the weekend.
Yeah, and with that game, or both those games being postponed, it means we haven't played a full competitive game now for about 2 weeks. Which, I mean, I suppose it must be there must be positives too, just to, getting people a break.
Yeah, we had a busy Christmas period, and we carried on playing in the first couple of weeks in January, where some didn't. So, but 2 weeks is fine. We've worked the players really hard, and they're a fit group anyway, and they're in really good shape. So no, and they've certainly known about having the weekend off with the sessions we've been giving them this week. And they're fit, they're ready to go, and looking forward to Saturday.
And I suppose it would also give some of the injured players a chance to kind of rehab a little bit more, and try and catch up. Any updates on any of the boys that we got out at the moment? Kobe Rowe, Adam Lovett, Matt Ridley.
Yeah, Kobe Rowe is back in training and has been training fully this week. So that's great, and we'll look to get him fully up to speed as quick as we possibly can over the next coming week or two. John Budden's come back from a great week up at St George's Park, and he's doing great in the gym back at the training ground. Adam Lovett has seen a concussion specialist, and I'm pleased to say he's been given some certain medication which really helps with the headaches, and he's now back in the training ground as well and starting to build up his light exercise. And we'll just have to, depending on symptoms, really take it day by day on when Adam can eventually start returning to light training. So, but some positive news there, and good to see Adam back in with us. Unfortunately, Matt Ridley just picked up an ankle injury in training, which has knocked him back for a couple of weeks. So that's a little bit of disappointing news. But other than that, we're all fit, healthy, and ready to go.
And I suppose as with managers up and down the country, transfer deadline is looming large, coming to the end of the month. We did see a few outgoings with Tope Fadahunsi and Kwame Thomas going out on loan. Is it looking like there may be any more coming up?
Yes, I hope so. As I'm sitting here now talking to you on a Thursday evening, it's been a bit of a manic day, and I'm still looking to try and bring possibly a couple in, possibly two more, one maybe two more. So maybe more news on that tomorrow, and then moving maybe a couple out who haven't had minutes recently or need to get some more game time could quite easily be going out on loan. So the loan ones may be affected by the deadline because it might be a league move, but if it's not, those ones going out, even though the deadline's shut, still can move into the National League or into the non-league pyramid. So that we're not under that restriction with the deadline. It's literally just league moves. So hopefully I can get these couple in tomorrow and over the line, and then I'll be looking to maybe move a couple out to go and get them valuable minutes as well.
And obviously, yes, whilst all this is going on, there's a small task of playing competitive football games coming on around it. But before I get to this weekend, I did just want to mention as well. You mentioned earlier about the Surrey Senior Cup, the game that was postponed. And the news has come out today as we're talking on Thursday that Walton have pulled out of the Surrey Senior Cup, giving us a walk through into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, which is disappointing when a side has to do that. I understand their reasons for it, but it's been frustrating for them and us that the previous two games have been called off because of the cold snap that we've had. So it's very disappointing that games may be catching up with them. And it's also disappointing from my point of view, to be honest, because I was looking forward to the home game and looking forward to putting a strong side out and like I'm saying, give some minutes to players that I really feel need it as well. So no, that's disappointing, but it's out of my control, and we look forward to seeing who we have in the next round and when that game's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a favourite to maybe some of the older Sutton United fans. We've got a great history in the Surrey Senior Cup, so now into the quarterfinal, going to be looking, to get into the next round. Who knows, maybe the final.
Yeah, because I've always been open and honest about the Surrey Senior Cup. We want to win every game. We want to win everything we do. I instill that in training. And if we're playing a five-a-side, I want to see winners and the winning mentality. So every time we go into those games, Surrey Senior Cup included, we want to win and we want to progress through. But I have got to keep an eye on where we are at the time, squad-wise, leagues, in terms of league fixtures, and the amount of games we've played. And certainly in the previous round against Mersham, I was in no position to be able to play any first-team players, just through the lack of bodies I had in that first half of the season. But now we seem to have come out the other side of that. It opens up for me to look forward to a quarter-final and seeing where we are when that game's arranged, depending on who I can put out and who's available at the time. And unfortunately, I couldn't answer that at the moment. But whoever we do put out as a football club, be it the academy side and the good lads that we've got in that under-18s team, mixed in with some first-team players, will be ones we will be looking to go and get a result in for sure.
Yeah, of course. And talking about games coming up, the more immediate being this weekend away to Harrogate, long trip up north. And as all games are tough, League Two game, Harrogate who are going to be coming out fighting, considering potentially they're a little bit low down the table.
I think they'll come out fighting anyway, because I think that's what their manager instills. He's someone I know well and have got to know well over the years, both in the National League and in the Football League. And they're a very strong outfit. I feel they're a similar club to us in many ways. The story, the path, the facility, everything really, they're very, very similar to us. And what they are is a very hard-working and honest side with some good players. And it'll be an extremely tough game there, as always against Harrogate and since I've been a manager. So yeah, it's a long journey for us. We'll be obviously travelling up on Friday afternoon, but we're in a good place as ourselves, as I said earlier on in the interview. But we're looking forward to a tough test against Harrogate and hopefully keep our little run going.
Okay, well, thank you for taking time out of your busy day, Matt. I'm sure you're probably going to have about 2 or 3 missed calls now. But thank you very much. All the best for the weekend, and we'll see you up at Harrogate.
Brilliant. Cheers, James. Thanks a lot, mate.